everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. This is Miss Renee again from Boys and Girls Club of Lanier, specifically a YDP from the Chicopee Woods Elementary School site. Hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope you guys are cooking. You know, a lot of us are still staying indoors, not going outside too much, and so probably a lot of you are cooking more at home. And one of my favorite things that I like to cook are desserts. And so today, for an enrichment, I wanted to cook, or I should say bake, chocolate chip cookies. Who loves chocolate chip cookies? Miss Renee does. And these are not just any chocolate chip cookies, guys. These are Joanna Gaines. If you know who that is, I'm telling you what, she is amazing. So if you do not know who Joanna Gaines is, go watch Fixer Upper, fall in love with Joanna Gaines, and then we're gonna go make her cookies. They are amazing. Every time I've made them, they have come out absolutely perfect. So we're gonna be making some of her famous chocolate chip cookies. And so I'm going to show you the ingredients that you'll need, all your materials, and we're gonna make some cookies. All right, so we're gonna spin around here in my kitchen, and I'm going to put down my laptop, and we're gonna see everything that you will need for making the best chocolate chip cookies ever. So first thing that you're gonna need is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. In my canister right here, all-purpose. You need to make sure that it is all-purpose flour that you have. Okay, so then you'll need 1 heaping teaspoon of baking soda. So you have your baking soda right here, 1 heaping teaspoon. You're also going to need 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. So you have your salt right here. It also depends on the butter. You're going to need a whole stick of unsalted butter. Now, I had salted butter on me, so I didn't have to use the salt. I just relied on the salt that was already in the butter. If you have unsalted butter, then you will need 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. You will also need 2 cups of packed light brown sugar, okay, 2 cups. All right, you will need 2 large eggs. So I have 2 large eggs in our measuring cups here. 1.5 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. Please do not get the imitation. It's just wrong, guys. You need the pure vanilla extract if you're able to have that. And then 1.5 cups of your semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now I will tell you, I went ahead and put 2 cups in there because I like my chocolate chips. So you can put as many chocolate chips in there really as you want. The more chocolatey, the more better is what I say. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some tips, and then I'm gonna show you exactly what the recipe calls for. So guys, I'm gonna spin back around. When you're baking, you need to make sure that you level out your ingredients. So for instance, whenever you get your flour, you want to make sure that you don't just get a heaping scoop, which means that you don't like take a knife and like make sure that it's exactly 2 cups or 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Because in baking, your measurements really do need to be precise so that you get that perfect baked good, and in our case, it's the cookies. So real quick, I'm going to walk you through what you're supposed to do with all of those yummy, yummy ingredients. I'm just going to put that back on there. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to turn your oven to 350, okay? And after you turn your oven to 350, you're going to make sure that your rack is in the middle of your oven. You want to make sure that your rack in the oven is not on top, because then your cookies could get too brown and they won't cook all the way through. So make sure it's in the center, okay? So I'm referring back to my cookbook for the recipe for these delicious cookies. So the first thing, that's what you want to do. You also, and I had in my ingredients here, wanted to show you guys real quick because I didn't mention it before. I'm so sorry. you're gonna need 2 separate mixing bowls, okay? And the reason you want 2 separate mixing bowls is you're first going to mix your dry ingredients together all in one bowl, okay? All of your dry ingredients. So that would be your flour, if you are adding salt, your salt and your baking soda. And you'll need a whisk to kind of whisk all of those lovely dry ingredients together. Then you're going to want to get your wet ingredients. Did you know that brown sugar is a wet ingredient? I didn't know that, but it is. So brown sugar is wet. So then you get your larger bowl. As you can see, there's some residue from me making cookies. So you get your larger bowl, and you would also need a mixer of some kind, okay? I have my handy dandy hand mixer right here. You guys can see that, there it is, my hand mixer. If you do not have a hand mixer, you're just gonna have to use old-fashioned elbow grease to make sure that you get those cookies done. So you got your butter. You're gonna put your butter, make sure your butter is room temperature, guys, room temperature, very important, so that it's pliable and it will not be so hard whenever you're mixing your butter and your sugar. So you're putting your butter and your brown sugar in here. You're taking your mixer and you're mixing it with the mixer until it's light and fluffy, which just means that it's kind of like a paste almost. That's the kind of consistency you want. After it becomes a paste, you are then going to beat the eggs. So then you'll put the eggs in here, mix that really well until it's combined. Then you're gonna put your awesome vanilla extract and you're gonna put it in there as well. And you're gonna mix that until it's then it's gonna be gooey, kind of like a wet paste is basically what it's gonna look like. So then you're gonna take your bowl that you mixed your dry ingredients in and you're gonna put it in with your wet ingredients. Now, what I would suggest, so you can see me. What I would suggest is whenever you put your dry ingredients in, you do it a little bit at a time. So then it mixes a little bit better. So I put my dry ingredients in a little tiny bit at a time, then I mixed it, turn on my mixer. Then I put a little bit more, turn on my mixer. Then when I put all of my dry mix in with the wet, I turn it on a little bit higher. So in the beginning, you want to if you have a hand mixer, you want to turn it on low. Then you want to turn it up higher so that it will really mix. And it will be thick, okay? It will be a thick consistency like dough, okay? Like cookie dough. Then after that, you're going to add your chocolate chips. Again, you can add as many chocolate chips as you want. If you are super chocolatey that day, you can add 2 cups. Girl, go do it. Or boy, go do it. Just do it. And then you're going to once you put your however many chocolate chips you want in, you're going to turn your mixer on a little bit higher. Mix all those chocolate chips in until it is perfect. Now, I'm going to show you some of what my dough looks like, okay? So I went ahead and made, so this is what my dough looks like, okay? You can make them as big or small as you would like them to be. I used a large tablespoon. You can use an ice cream scoop. Ice cream scoop is great for putting cookies out, but I just used a regular tablespoon, and mine are a little bit big because I like my cookies a little bit bigger. But if you like them smaller, that's totally fine. Put some distance in between them so that and whenever you put the cookies on there, do not push them down. It's a secret. Do not push down on your cookies. Just let them look just like that from the spoon, okay? And you pop it in the oven. Now, with your baking sheet, make sure that you either spray it really well or you put some parchment paper down. You don't want those cookies to stick. That's just not fun. It's not pretty. Speaking of pretty, I've already made a batch of my beautiful cookies. And here is one of them, okay? They are amazing. And so you want, again, your oven should already be on to 350. You're gonna pop those babies in for about 10, maybe 11 minutes, no more than 11 minutes. until they're lightly brown on top, and just your house will smell amazing and they will be beautiful. Then after that, you're going to want a cooling rack, okay? And so this is my cooling rack. Forgive my bread, that's right next to my cookies. But first you're gonna wanna put your pan onto that cooling rack. Let it cool for about a minute. Then you're gonna wanna transport those cookies from your baking sheet to your cooling rack so that they can cool completely. Now, you could make up to 40 cookies. That's a lot of cookies. 40 cookies with this recipe. Mine, because I made them a little bigger, came out to about 28. Well, there's a lot less than that because me and my husband have been chowing down on these. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope I made it fun for you. And I hope you enjoy those amazing cookies. I'm telling you, every time I've made these, they have come out perfect. So please enjoy. I hope you love them. And you guys have a great night. Bye.